You know, if you look at the last election,
Yeah.
some were in complete shock.
Of the results.
Yes. While we were telling them 6 months before that
Yes.
there's
So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
the last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you
Look,
come out of this one?
one, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. Now look, where we are in Hacho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. This would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. Well, the numbers we were banding around was in excess of a 2.something million gap. We have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own, you struggle, and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket. And that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything.
Hello, you're watching NSG News, and this is the Hot Seat, where we talk about country and people, patriotic views, unapologetically patriotic for Ghana. And today we are with a wonderful Ghanaian who needs no introduction because most recently, for a while now, he's been in the news and headlines because the politicians have him under the spotlight. So without much ado, I introduce to you Executive Director and Head of Global Research, Global Analytics, Mr. Mussa Dankwah. Welcome to the Hot Seat.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. And some don't like the name The Hot Seat, but you are in it, I'm in mine. We're just going to have a conversation about what you do, why you do it, and where we go from where you are. So we'll have a good conversation.
I hope so.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
And you have a beautiful site. Thank you for allowing us to come to your site where your business is. And
always pleasure.
Thank you. So, Global Analytics, how did it come to be?
You know, some years back, way back in 2019, I felt something was missing in our political discourse in this country, which was opinion poll to measure the perception of voters and indeed the people of Ghana on certain issues. And that we only saw opinion polls that were just focusing on the elections outcome. And maybe a month or a week before the elections, and then they suddenly pop up. So I felt we need to have a conversation around opinion polls, so the polls can guide the government, serve as a government ear as to what people are saying and thinking, and so that they can take steps to really correct some of the things that people are talking about. So I felt I need to go in that space. But just doing political opinion poll will not make you survive because you will not get money. So we added the market research, economic surveys and stuff to it. Yeah. So we can survive beyond the politics.
Yeah, we can see you.
Absolutely.
Right here.
So Global Info Analytics was born in March 2019. We started doing local surveys, local public opinion polls, and then we begin to expand to national opinion poll.
Yeah.
To the point where we are today, covering the whole country in a matter of days.
Any interest in international opinion polls?
Yes, we...
I asked because the West always tells us what they think about us. And so I think it's about time we also tell them what we think about what they're doing. Just like our president did a few days ago.
No, you can only sample opinions in those places when you have a foothold there properly.
Okay.
But the sampling, deployment, and approach, you must be locally to be able to do that. But it doesn't stop us from sampling the views of our people, the diaspora, to see what they think about us.
Yeah.
But I think the public opinion poll has taken a new dimension in this country.
Yeah.
And that we have given the media and largely the political class something to say that, look, we can rely on this and discuss it and see how that influenced the way we govern this country. And we have seen that. We've seen government react to opinion polls. And for me, that is what makes me happy.
Actually, I've asked you about your institution, how it came to be, just to test the waters. All right? We'll come back to that more elaborately. But let's come to you as a person. Who is Mr. Mussa Dankwah? Who is the man of the season, the time? The politicians want to know, who is this man? Why is he giving them issues? Are you giving them issues, actually?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, it's because they've decided to live in a different world, in a bubble.
Oh, okay.
So they don't want to know what is going outside the bubble. But we're now unearthing that directly into their ears, and that is kind of irritating them.
All right. So, okay, thank you for that. Mr. Mussa Dankwah, who is he?
I was born to a father called Nathan Ekrofi from Apredi, near Ekropong in the Eastern region. And my mother is Abna Santwa from Apina Mine in the Denchembo district. But I grew up in Medina Zongo as a child. So my entire life was lived in Medina Zongo.
Okay.
And went to school, DC Primary School, or RC Primary School in Medina, class 3. And then went to Medina Islamic School for a year or so. And then kind of dropped out from school for a while and went back to primary school, La Nkwantanae Primary School. And then,
sorry if I may, you will still continue, but if something caught my attention, you dropped out of school. What was the reason?
Fees. Couldn't pay the fees.
School fees?
School fees, yes.
Yeah, okay. But here you are, you have a company.
Yes.
And you're employing people.
Yes, I'm
contributing to the economy.
Absolutely, doing that.
Wow.
So by my secondary school, I spent my time at Albert Academy, secondary school, where I did my O-levels in accounting and business. Albert Academy is located near, or was located near Medina Market. It's no longer there.
Where is it now?
It's kind of defunct now.
Oh, okay.
It was a private school.
All right.
That has now become defunct. And from Albert Academy, I went to do a diploma in business studies at Accra Polytechnic.
Right.
For 2 years. Went to serve my national service in the northern region, END, where I was involved in the Nanumba-Konkomba conflict at the time, 1994.
When you say involved, how involved?
We were doing the service there, and the conflict started, so we were caught up in the middle of it.
Okay.
So we have to be.
Did you participate?
No.
Did you carry some stones?
No, we didn't carry. We fled
Any
for our
clubs?
lives. we fled for our lives.
That means you're not man enough.
No, you can't just go into somebody's fight and take the fight to yourself.
Okay.
It was 2 ethnic groups that misunderstood themselves, and they were kind of fighting. So after that, I came to Accra again to continue with my national service. And after that, I went to do a higher national diploma in accounting at Accra Polytechnic, now Accra Technical University. before I traveled to Denmark, Aarhus, to go and read international business.
Wow, quite a journey. So Denmark.
Yeah.
Why Denmark?
At the time, Denmark was the only country in Europe that was offering free tuition
Right.
to any school that you get admission to.
Right. So it wasn't government funded.
No, government will give you, just all you need to do is to cater for yourself.
I mean, it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own you struggle, and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket, and that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything. It was quite interesting. And
but you made it.
Oh yes, when I arrived in Copenhagen, the airport checkout, people were just holding their passport out and they were being allowed to go. When I raised my app, I said, no, you go here. I didn't understand why. Apparently mine was a blue color, theirs was a different color. So I had to go through a lot of examination, including x-ray of my chest to see whether I was carrying TB, all sort of things. It was very embarrassing, but we went through there, and then I started school in Denmark. And now we're here today. Very nice place to be, Denmark.
Yeah. But you came back.
Yeah, I came back. From Denmark, I went to other places, and I went to UK to do my studies, and finally came back in 2009.
Wow, that's beautiful. So mom and dad still?
No, my dad passed away in 1994.
I don't like asking those questions because
okay.
Sometimes you ask and you realize the person is passed, and then you just strike a nerve. So I'm sorry if I have done that.
That's okay. My dad passed away in 1994. I was then doing my national service. By the time I came back, he was buried, but I went to the village to pay respect.
Yeah.
And yes, he was a traditional man.
Oh, no, it's good to be traditional.
Yes.
I'm a traditional man too. I love to be traditional. In other words, I call it classical.
Classical.
Yes. Wow, beautiful. So let's talk a bit about your working life. I've had a glance at some of the things you have done, quite extensive and across varied spectrums of work.
Yeah.
And so let's go to London.
London, I started working in London, serious work in 2004.
Yeah.
I chartered as an accountant in 2002. And started work with London Underground in 2004. But before that, I was in Ghana here. I was working for Sky Consult as a consultant.
Yeah.
And also worked for Miller & Associate as an audit assistant. The same set, two companies that are different wings. And I was, in fact, one of the time I was in charge of auditing Ghana Airways Catering Company.
Yeah.
And led the audit team to audit them. And I remember one day I was with the CFO, and I was telling him that when I was a kid, I used to come to the Ebola or the rubbish tip to scavenge in their rubbish tip.
Oh.
And he remembered those days when they used to chase us from Zongo. So I said, so you're one of those guys we were chasing? And I said, yes, I was. From there, I went to work for TfL or London Underground in the UK as investment analyst initially. So
it wasn't just all bed of roses for you, because sometimes when we see the end product, he has a company, politicians are after him, seeking his skin and everything. I don't know what they are seeking from you though, but and then people think that you've just been born with silver spoon in your mouth.
Not, in fact,
so I want you to tell us. I want you to go. If you're not, if you're comfortable, tell us. Tell us, because to tell us that you used to go pick food from the rubbish dump.
Yes.
And now you've now gone there to audit them. You see how life changes. Why? Because I want this your story to encourage a guy out there to say, look,
absolutely,
it's not over until it's over.
Until it's over. And the CFO was very shocked. Besides that, look, where we are in Harcho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. So even carrying the cement to the site,
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And imagine having to do that, and then the foreman says to you, there's no money, he won't pay you. Goodness. And there was one time that he didn't pay us, and we wanted to pick it in his house. Luckily for him, or luckily for us, unfortunately for him, he was in Zongo. We knew where to get him. We mounted a camp at his door, and he asked to go and borrow money to pay two of us because we were too troubling. I said, look, I can't leave school to come and do this work and tell me that you have no money. Absolutely not. So you go through the hardship to be able to go through school and finish your O-level. So for me, I've gone through the mills. I've been part of the boys that go around catching Bela, the Bela Boys Company, eating the grass and catching the grass cutters and all sorts. So I've done everything. There's nothing I haven't done. So for me, I've gone to the mill, and to see myself here today is by grace.
So you don't accept that someone sits somewhere and brand you as he's got it all easy. That's why he's there talking and bringing numbers to disturb them.
People who know me know what I've gone through. You know, and look, it toughens you up. It makes you really think when you're doing things. Seeing how far you've come from. Even look at your family background, what your parents went through, and the hardship. And if you are in a position of influence, what should you be doing? Should you be looking after yourself or the society? I mean, bringing people who have gone through the same situations like you up. So for me, it's bigger than just myself.
It seems I don't want to move from this subject. I want more out of it, of the life that has become what we are seeing now. Like they say, the diamond in the rough. You've shined in and you've polished the diamond. We can see it, but we want to know where the diamond came from. Any more you want to tell us from there?
Look, my entire life was lived in Medina here, Medina Zongo here, and growing up, went to Makaranta with all the ordinary kids we have, friends of, we took care of each other, and there are families in Zongo that even when you don't have money or food from your family, you go there and they feed you without complaining. We become like one family, and even today, the lady who gave me money to do my passport to travel is still alive.
Wow.
She used to sell cocoa when we were growing up, and I go to visit her occasionally in Zongo and do what I have to do. And there are places that we go that give us food when we're hungry. We still go back there and say thank you. Without your support, we wouldn't have been here. Yeah. So for me, life has been very ordinary, and I don't see myself living a life beyond the ordinary,
But it looks like you've got it made, so why can't you live beyond the ordinary?
No, I'm quite an emotional person when it comes to life. And I will not be happy if others around me are not happy. I do sacrifice a lot for other people.
Are you sure you're emotional? Because when it comes to your numbers, you're tough.
Yes, I mean, everybody has his own spots.
Okay. So
my human
life,
side,
human side, okay,
is very, soft.
Yeah.
And I tend to do what we can to help people lift themselves up, and then see what they can do to themselves and to the society. And I believe that when we do that, we're not just building individuals, we're also building the country.
Right. Beautiful. I mean, we will still keep coming back to you. There's something else I want to speak about. Viewers, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back. When we come back, we'll talk to you about why Mr. Mussa Dankwah is called Mussa Dankwah. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. You're welcome back. And as you know, or you may know, you've just jumped in. So we are speaking to Mr. Mussa Dankwah, the Executive Director and Head of Global Research, Global Analytics, like you can see over there, right there in front of you. And we've been exploring his life to this shining person that we are seeing for some challenging times, but he's made it. And what he said is, it makes you tough. I love tough people. I love to roll with tough people. So, Mr. Mussa Dankwah, I promise our audience we would like to understand why you're called Mussa Dankwah. Because normally it's either Mussa Salifu, Mussa Mohammed, or Baumia Mabu. Yeah, okay. So, but this time, the combination is different. What is the reason?
I'm Mussa Because I'm a Muslim. Originally, I wasn't born a Muslim.
Okay.
I was born and baptized in the Presby Church as Paul Dankwah.
Paul?
Yes.
Dankwah.
Yes. That's the name I was christened with. And I became a Muslim, I think, at the age of 7 years, when my father moved to Medina Zongo from Nkoko, where we used to live. When I came to Medina, everybody around you is a Muslim. And then they call the azan, or they call the prayer. They leave, and you are the only one sitting there.
Okay.
So you feel, why can't I follow them so that we can just go and pray together?
Yeah.
So I started joining them, and I said I want to become a Muslim at that age. And my father didn't resist, my mother didn't resist, because look, you are in Zongo, for God's sake. So, you know, and they didn't resist that. So I became a Muslim at the age of, I think, very young, 7 or 8. But my mother is from Achim, Apinamang, in the Denchambo district, within Akwetia constituency. And my father is from Apredi, in the Okre district, or we call Guapim, I think Guapim North also. And my mother is a Presbyterian. My father is a traditionalist. And 2 of us, my brothers, are Muslim, the rest are all Christians. So that's how the name Mussa Dankwah.
So you're the only Muslim among the family?
2 of us.
2 of you are Muslims. Okay. Yourself and your brother?
Yes. My sibling, who is called Mussa Dankwah.
Okay. How is it being a Muslim, having been born Presbyterian or Christian?
I haven't seen anything different, really. It just, you know, gives you a perspective of understanding the 2 religions from different angles.
Yeah. And
you are a Muslim from ethnic groups that are not traditionally Christian. So you are able to understand the ethnic groups that are largely Muslim. And then when you are also with your people, you understand what it is to be an Akan, or what it is to be a Guan.
Yeah.
So you have a better perspective of the interaction between the 2 religions, and also the 2 ethnic groups that mingle together to give us what we have as a Ghana today. So I have a lot of good perspective of how to be being a Muslim, but not from the traditional ethnic groups that are Muslims. Beautiful. And that is even helping me in understanding the political side of this.
Okay. Okay. And
there are certain things I can say, without being accused of being
a Muslim or the other. So you stand advantage than all of us.
Because if I speak on northern issues, they won't say because he is this.
Yeah.
So I have that kind of privilege maybe to speak dispassionately about issues from objective point of view.
Nice. Does it mean we should all now become both Muslims?
Islam is a choice, and there's no compulsion in Islam.
Yeah.
No.
But it gives you the advantage of being seen as having the balanced view, as you have tasted both sides of things.
You can still do that, scholarly.
Yeah.
You can be a scholar who can study the comparative religions.
It seems to do those things is difficult. I mean, we will come to that because you're doing your work in a scholarly manner, academically, professionally, but yet it's been branded. But I don't want to jump the gun. We'll come to that. I don't want to spoil your journey to becoming who you are today, that is being celebrated as well as being criticized. I think it's the norm of life, I would think. Or what do you think?
It's normal. It's normal.
It's normal.
Yes, normal.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
To be criticized?
Absolutely.
For the good work you're doing?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. We're still on both your life and work, so let's go back to London. Your experience
in London,
joining the London underground. What do you want to tell us? What do you want us to know?
7 or 8 years in London underground.
Yeah.
I remember when I applied for the job, I saw the job on the internet, TFL website, and I applied for it. And one afternoon I saw an email pop up in my mail that I have been shortlisted. And it was something that I really didn't expect, because it was tough getting that kind of job in the UK. And then they called me to an interview, 2 or 3 interviews. And in the last interview I was attending, there were 2 of us shortlisted for just one position. Myself and a guy called Sébastien Tropre from France. He used to work for SG in France. And we were the last 2, and there were only one position, or was only one position to be considered. And then when I arrived at the London Underground, which is the 55 Broadway, next to New Scotland Yard in London, and then I was going to the 10th floor for the interview. And then I saw this gentleman in the left, I think station supervisor, wearing the London Underground uniform in his hat, in the train with his files. And he pressed floor 5 on the escalator, and I pressed 10. And he turned around to look at me. I said, whoa, this black man, what's he going to do in the 10th floor? So he asked me, where are you going? He thought maybe I was lost. So
What's special about the 10th floor?
That is where the executive positions are.
Okay.
All the top executive positions, that's where the interviews are held.
Okay, all right.
I
asked so the audience will understand why this gentleman going to the 4th floor, seeing another black man. Of course, we are not trying to stereotype anything here. We're just speaking the facts. So we are not apologetic about being Ghanaians, okay? Thank you very much. So he pressed now the number to 4.
Yes.
And then you were going to where he never goes.
No.
Okay, good.
So he was surprised that I was pressing number 10. And then I said to him, oh, I'm going for an interview for this position there. And then the guy just stopped and prayed for me, put his hand on me and prayed for me.
Wow.
Yes, he prayed. And it didn't make sense to me at the time.
Okay.
Because I thought London full of blacks people everywhere. I mean, it shouldn't be anything. So my mind, it didn't even cross my mind. But then after I got the job and went to the department, and I realized that I was the only black man in the whole team.
Wow.
Then it clicked my mind that this was the reason why the guy was praying for me.
you. Oh, wow.
So I went there as an analyst, worked through the various portfolios. My first role was in the power sector. It was terrible.
Tell us.
What
happened?
I didn't have a science background.
Okay.
From secondary school to whatever.
Okay.
None. Zero. And then I became a chartered accountant. I chartered in 2002. Got a job at TFL 204. And I was asked to go and work with the power engineers to advise the director of finance as to what kind of funding mix, risk profile, solutions we should have for the London Underground power system upgrade. It sounds very nice portfolio, but the job there was terrible.
Anyway, let me interject a bit. What was your position, to be precise?
I was investment analyst.
Investment analyst. Okay. All right.
So with
carry on.
Finance background, I sent to build the engineers, and I have no background in science whatsoever. So the first few meetings, I sat down there, couldn't utter a word for 2 days.
You're joking?
Serious. I come home very depressed. The salary was, I wasn't going to get that salary anywhere. When they even told me how much I was going to be paid, I went numb. So
very good.
How would you leave this salary and go somewhere that you will probably get half of that because the job was too difficult?
Yeah.
And I said to myself that, no, if I leave this position, it's not just going to be an indictment on me as a person, but the fact that somebody had prayed for you in the lift, knowing what you are stepping into, meant that the battle is indeed with the Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had to fight, not for myself, but also to fight to keep the black race respected.
Amen.
In the company I just joined. So I had no option but to stay and deliver and succeed. And I did that. After a few days, and I opened to these engineers told them my challenges. They organized a site visit for me to go and see everything they were talking about.
So you went to the engineering team, the
Yes.
team leader,
Yeah.
to tell him, listen, I don't understand what's going on here.
Absolutely.
You open up to them.
I did.
Okay.
And I told them that no matter how big technical they speak, if I don't understand it, nothing will come to them in terms of money. Well, I need to explain what has been discussed to my CFO
Yeah.
for it to make sense, for me to even put the paper together, send to the funding committee and the TFL, for money to be released for that project. So if I don't understand it, then there'll be trouble.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. So we went through that. In fact, they were very helpful. You know, the engineer called Ian, an elderly engineer, took me to site. We went around. Another gentleman called Carmichael, one of the top engineers in the underground power sector. We went around, and within a month, I have to learn everything, think like an engineer, speak like an engineer. There I got to learn the BSP, bulk supply point,
Yeah.
the SCADA systems,
Yes.
the high voltage, the low voltage. Look, and we were working with a power company called EDF Energy Power Link. They were the PPP partner for
Yeah.
power
Yes.
systems in London area. So you go to a meeting, you know, and then we even went to do what we call a simulation of the power systems. We did a model to test how the trains will behave on the tracks when you have certain number of power substations around the track.
Yeah.
To test and see whether what we have now will be sufficient to run the new Victoria line upgrades. So we put the trains there to go round, and where there is a power issue, you see the trains bumping.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, there's need for us to do something here. So we went through the simulation and the modeling and optimization to come up with what you see on London Underground today when you go to London. 2005, 2006.
If you were to find yourself in the similar situation in Ghana, would you have come out unscathed like you did in the UK? I mean, you've experienced both markets. Having been given such a position and now being given a responsibility or a portfolio to function without the underlying knowledge to deliver your job. If it was in Ghana,
you wouldn't have survived it. What I've noticed in Ghana is that people don't like to share knowledge. They feel threatened when you get to know your job. And for me, if I had experienced that in the UK, I wouldn't be here today. People were willing to help you understand.
yeah,
People were opening up and see how they can help you to succeed. But the overarching objective here is to help the company thrive,
yeah,
to help the economy of the UK grow. So once they are helping you, they are building the country, building the economy. So the thinking there is different. Here, in fact, it's quite difficult. And even as I work here, I try to train a lot of people to do what I do. Because I know our days on this earth is not infinite.
Yeah.
You must not live a vacuum.
yeah.
So I always want to believe that you share knowledge, and that will be something that will be good for you. And as a Muslim, look, knowledge is one of the things that will follow you to your grave, even long after you are gone. So to build knowledge, share knowledge is very, very important to me. So Ghana will be very difficult.
You think there's a
culture is
change?
different. We need a cultural change. We need.
I mean, since your return and being in the sector, I'm sure I'm going to ask you in a few minutes. You've worked in the private sector, but you've engaged with working for the Kotoka International Airport, some research work that was done. We'll come to that. But having experience, you saying that the change towards we being comfortable to express and to how do I put it? To share knowledge, is it not getting better than it was?
No,
In Ghana, I mean.
maybe the new generation might be different, but the older generation, the new generation don't have the experience. They have to rely on the older ones to get the experience, and the older ones are not willing to open up.
Okay.
So the younger ones are learning it the hard way,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is not the best. You know, I mean, people feel threatened when you have the capacity to do what they are doing. They want to be the ones that are indispensable. Without them, the whole country must come to a standstill. Without them, the company must not move. And that's how they feel powerful in what they do.
I remember that I went to one a public office, looking to speak to the public relations officer. The public relations officer. And I was told she wasn't there. So I asked for the complimentary card. They won't give it to me.
No.
They have to pick phone and call her to ask, should we give your complimentary card? So I looked at her and said, excuse me?
Yes.
She's a public officer and a public relations officer.
That is how bad things are.
On the phone, she told them to write her number for me. I said,
on the paper.
But the number is on the card. You are holding the card in your hands. So I'm kind of agreeing with what you're saying, that we just want to everybody bow to one person. Absolutely. And then end of story to the rest of what goes on.
Absolutely.
I wasn't given the complimentary card.
It doesn't surprise me.
But the number was written for me on the paper. Yeah. Is it a coat of arms on it, or I don't know, maybe you may know. I mean, with you, data analysis and information, I mean, you might have some intel that would justify why I was given a written...
They want to feel that that card should be given to a certain class of people.
Okay.
You didn't fit that class.
I don't have class.
I remember not too long ago, I visited one of the CEOs of this country, one of the top businessmen in this country. And I said, I'm coming to meet your boss. You have an appointment. I said, okay. I said that he's not here, he will come soon. And then they made me sit somewhere in a corner. And then when he phoned and told them who I am and what I'm coming to do, then they quickly give me a better place to sit. I now fit the class that they think I should belong. It's a class thinking.
We have a problem.
No problem.
Because if it's a service provider or you're delivering service, everyone working in there is your customer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a long way to go.
Out of experience, what do you think we're going to do to change it?
We have to keep trying. The good thing is that the new generation of citizens are different. I believe the Gen Zs will shift some things radically in this country. It's not going to be a step change approach. It will be just a quantum leap.
Beautiful. We'll be back. We'll take another break, but when we come back, I know sometimes we are critical with our guest as to, oh yes, he's been in UK, he has worked with London, and he's come and he's raising his shoulders. He has worked in Ghana too, and he has some experiences there, and we will come back and he will talk to us when he had his project with the Kotoka International Airport. He was on the project. We'd like to talk about that. We will be back. Stay with us.
Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity.
You're welcome back. And as you know, or you may know, may not know, you're speaking to the Executive Director and Head of Global Research for Global Info Analytics. And I like the name, Global Info Analytics. Analytics, polls, and modeling. That's what you've been sought for.
Yes.
Both for good reasons?
Yes, for good reasons.
Any bad reasons?
Well, for those who find it inconvenient, who don't want to see the inconvenient truth, find us irritating.
But where Ghana is right now, we need truth.
Absolutely.
And boldness.
Boldness and truthness is what we need.
But our national anthem and the pledge tells us
to be bold. I don't know why we are timid.
There was a gentleman that was on this program that said Ghanaians are not bold.
No, you're not bold.
But I disagree.
We've been cowed. I mean, we fear criticism.
Okay.
And that made us.
So that's what he's trying to say in another way.
Yes.
Because if you say boldness, when I look at when we were in secondary school, I mean, Yenyabre and all those things that we can call. Yenyabre. So if you tell me that we are not bold, I find it difficult to assimilate and agree to it.
Boldness is you look at somebody in the face and tell him what they don't want to hear, the truth. You go to even certain management meetings. I've been part of a board before, and you see young people who are timid to speak. You know, they are afraid of the stature of people around the table. He feels he is not there to speak yet. And I remember some time back, and I was speaking on this platform about it. We had a meeting on a project that we had to go and see the vice president. And we went there, we were discussing issues, but the very issue that brought us there, people were quiet about it. And I was feeling very uncomfortable. And I kept raising my hands for the man to catch my, attention. And one of the big guys were kicking me in the leg.
Don't speak.
Don't speak, don't speak. I said, the person I didn't hear him. And in the end, I caught his eye, and he asked me, Musa, what's the issue? And I told him that the very reason why we are here, they haven't discussed it. So he turned around, looked at these big guys, they were looking at him in the faces, and then they began to kind of open up a bit. So that kind of thing permeates to the very highest level. Very highest level. Can you imagine you with the vice president, and you can't tell him what brought you there? That's a problem, isn't it?
It is a problem.
So in running the country, people are not even being truthful and honest and sincere.
I think that might be the reason that, I heard some story about when Rawlings finished his term as a president, visit one of his previous ministers, and he was cross to what he had seen, and he walked away, allegedly. And you, understandably, they come out of office and realize certain things were not done because people are not upfront with them.
Upfront, no.
We can't run the country like that.
No. We're a country of timid people.
But you're not timid.
A lot more people are timid.
You are not timid.
And
that's the hope we need. You're not timid.
I'm not timid. No,
and there are many other people I know that they are not timid.
I wish people would become like me or more better than me. And be bold and speak. Bold and speak. It doesn't matter who is hurt by what you do. If you're doing the right thing, so be it.
We'll come to that when we come to your work in the political arena, how it has become the headlines. But before then, talk to us about your work, Kotoka International Airport, I think some financial modeling, Terminal 3 project. How did you get involved with that? Who brought you in?
GIF, Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, was one of the entities that were looking to put equity into the project when it was commissioned. I don't remember whether 2015 or 2016, thereabout. And they were looking to restructure the debt of the airport company limited and bring in some equity. So I was hired by GIF to do due diligence on the finances of the airport company limited before they could make decisions as to whether they should invest or not. So I was sent in there to do financial due diligence on the Ghana Airport Company Terminal 3 project. How their funding sources, how they apply their funds, and what funds are available to service the debt that they're going to be taking over, and so on and so forth. So it was quite, fascinating. A company that I worked there as a child, as a student, when I was doing my attachment, to go back there and be doing a due diligence on their books. Yeah, it was quite interesting. I remember the treasurer there, he's still there, Mr. Odami. He's still there when I was there, but I came there before he came. I still have the treasurer, the senior people in Airport Company Limited. And a lot of people that I left when I was going to Denmark, they were still there working there, and to come back, see them in the company. It's quite interesting.
So, how did the project end?
No, I finished my due diligence.
They went ahead with the investment,
yes,
or
yes,
they didn't?
and gave my report to the GIF, subsequent to which they made an investment in the equity, I think, also, or debt financing for the airport company.
Okay, so since in the now you are being challenged to your numbers, is it okay for me to ask that should we challenge on those numbers too?
Of course you can.
Did you align the book in favor of Ghana,
No,
or you
look,
spoke the fact of the books?
You see, as an accountant,
Yes.
ethics is something that you go through, is trained very well. Ethical behavior as an accountant. And not just an accountant who is trained in the UK. The standards there are quite high.
Of course.
You can be stripped off by just lying about the numbers.
Yes.
In the UK, it's not here that people do things and get away with it. No, in the UK, you can just be stripped off. All this hard work you've put in your studies becomes naught. So we held very high esteem ethical values and saying what the truth is. So I have no issues at all in saying what the numbers are. And in airport company, I know them for a very long time. It's one of the best run state organizations in the country. They've done things properly for many, many years. And that standard is still there at the airport company. They're not like some of those SOEs that are run down like, they then called civil aviation. Now there's a split between civil aviation and then the airport management.
Yeah.
So we have the airport company and civil aviation. There used to be one entity before they were divorced. But things are done in both entities very well.
Yeah. Right. Beautiful. Now, let's go to, knowing you, speaking about your story, very interesting how it was not only a bed of roses, you're not born with silver spoon in your mouth. That's beautiful. I would love we stay on that, just keep going around and poking till you bring more information, with the hope our children's children will hear these things and being inspired to know that it's not where you start from, but keeping at it, and you will end up somewhere that is appealing to some. Because even in your case, not everything you do is appealing to all.
No.
So we will now go on to some of the highlights or the headlines that have been coming in. It's about 3 accusations that have been leveled against you with your work and your institution. It seems to, from the hot seats, as we are more country and people driven, non-political but non-partisan. Every Ghanaian is a political animal, so you're deceiving yourself if you're sitting and I'm not political. You are political. Even in your marriage, you are very political. So the hot seat, very political but non-partisan. So we want to drill down all that we've been reading to the fact that your work is being discredited. How do you feel? My background, I have a bit of mathematics and some engineering. To work with numbers, to make sense out of it, to even draw conclusion, it's not easy. So how do you feel that your work, your hard day and night work, just to tell a story or to speak facts and truth about country and people, is being belittled or watered down?
Look, knowing that it's coming from no other group than politicians doesn't bother me.
It should.
No, it doesn't.
These politicians are leaders.
Oh, it doesn't bother me. I know them very well. You know, our crop of politicians today are not people who want to speak the truth.
So we should not be electing them then?
We shouldn't be electing them. Some of them, no.
So what are we going to do?
We'll get rid of them.
I'm not trying to spin you off your...
No, and that is a change we are seeing. Among the younger generation, they'll kick these guys out. They want to be factual, truthful, and candid with them. If you fail this test, you are out. Eventually, you'll be out. So for me, I know very well that I use science. I use a sound methodology. And above all, we have dealt with the data with integrity and honesty. You can have all the methodologies on whatever, but if you begin to tamper with it dishonestly, certainly you skew the results. We don't do that. We have no room for that kind of compromises at all. Yeah. So when they do criticize me, I looked at other people who praise us as well.
Okay.
There are millions of Ghanaians, millions of intellectuals, millions of academics, millions of students who call us every day, thanking us for what we are doing. Some say for the first time they have interest in learning research. They now take their research methods quite seriously. They now see the value of research, doing a good research. So every day you hear calls, people call you, people text you, people pray for you. Look, I was in an ACCA event, or ICA event in Tema before the elections. And the whole event just stood to pray for me, for God to give me the strength and the energy to do what I have been doing.
Yeah.
For every one person who criticizes us, there are more than 20 who praise us.
Wow.
And we are content with that.
And that's your fine.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Nothing more.
So the generic attempt to water down your work doesn't bother you. Said it doesn't bother you.
Doesn't bother me. But
I mean, that's our perspective. That's our opinion
me.
As far as what we are reading is concerned. Yes. Because for me personally, as I said, my background with a bit of numbers and stuff like that, I can imagine how much work goes into that to come to those conclusions based on numbers and facts. You see, this is why, but I may be wrong.
For me, what makes me angry or makes me feel sad is when you know these people know the truth and they are academicians to start with, but politicians, and begin to poo-poo your work in a way that even questions their own professional integrity. As PhD holders, as professors, it saddens me. That is a new law. Because
but those are the titles we celebrate in this country.
Absolutely, and some of them are good for nothing.
No, they are all good.
For nothing. Look,
but those have become the yardsticks to appointments and everything else that we do.
That's the sad side of this country.
I mean, our audience, we are not trying to discredit PhD, doctorate or not. We have excellent people who hold. I have friends who are PhD or a doctorate, and they are excellent. But what he's saying is some of them are compromised, if we have to put it that way.
Absolutely. To the level that you begin to question their own academic credentials. You know, either you have read, must have read, or even used that tools during your PhD studies. But when it comes to issue of this nature, you see them completely at variance with what they were taught or learned.
Let me be a bit more specific. It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you come out of this one?
One, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. But you see, Africa here has become a jungle for anything that goes against the government is funded by the opposition. But you see, time is indeed pregnant. If we were hired by NDC to do the dirty job for MPP, the MPP is gone, the government is in. What do you say about the post we just released? Was it patting the government in the back? We just speak the truth. We tell you we are just the messengers of the message. We don't own the message.
Yeah. Actually, that's what it should be.
That is what it is. We don't own the message. The messengers are the citizens who vote for you, who are telling us to tell you this is what they are thinking.
That we don't want to know.
No, they don't want to know. And some of them, they created an aura of some invisibility around them. That when the truth comes out, then you are trying to expose who really they are in the eyes of the public.
Yeah.
They don't want the truth to come out. They want to peddle falsehood in order to gain political power or take political power. The less we know, the better for them. The more we know, the more exposed they will become. And for me, we want our people to be
So
educated.
in effect, they are not in leadership to actually
No.
govern the people
No, some of
to
them
their
no.
benefit.
Some of them no. Some of them no.
But that's what we voted them for.
That's what we've been voting for since democracy.
1992.
And beyond that,
And Rawlings is not here no more.
no. It's not gone. But I think what we must understand is that things are changing. And rapidly, not slowly.
Maybe
rapidly.
they are refusing things to change.
No, they will, that's why some of them will wake up and then they will see a shock. You know, if you look at the last election,
Yeah.
some were in complete shock.
Of the results.
Yes. While we were telling them 6 months before that this would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. Well, the numbers we were banding around was in excess of a 2.something million gap. Look, we have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think some people will say that you are in a fool's paradise to think Ghana has changed.
No, Ghana has changed. When I say change, I mean the way we do politics, the way the youth understand politics, and the way they respond to politics has changed.
I don't like to use the word the devil's advocate. Okay, I can't be the advocate for the devil. I call it the questionable advocate. I am the questionable advocate here. It's not like I'm disagreeing with you. I'm just saying what the obvious is, okay, which goes contrary to what you're saying. So in effect, what you're saying is that the politicians, they take us as fools. They don't expect us to wake up to what we want. Is that what you're saying? Because you said things are changing, but they are still acting as though we can't see.
They are being forced to change. You watch the cycle from 2024 going forward, things will never be the same again. Trust me.
You certain?
Yes. I spent quite a lot of time on social media.
Yeah.
TikTok. If you look at the profile of the demography of Ghanaian voters.
Yeah.
And what they are saying on their platforms. These guys better be ready for what is coming.
But it's just, they'll say it's just going to be either NDC or MPP.
But the yardstick which they use to measure them is different.
If it's going to be NDC or MPP, and their candidate is driven by, it is my turn, that means we're still going to put somebody there that is not going to deliver that to our benefit.
The parties are just the vehicles.
Okay.
You can drive change through individuals who may emerge from the party.
Okay.
If you look at what happened, I think it's in Tanzania, in the Chama Chama Pinduzi party, when Magufuli emerged from nowhere. Yeah. You see what he did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There will be people who can emerge from MPP and NDC, and they'll be different.
That's what we hope for.
Yes. That time is coming.
That's what we want, because the hot seat, we believe strongly that there is no limitation to what Ghana can achieve. We are a nation that is self-sufficient, resource, human resource, natural resource. We should be able to function without help from anywhere. Yeah. So we can continue with the whole day, but I just have a few things. Where we started, we'll continue on that. Sure. We'll continue because there's two more specific accusations that I would like to pop in. Viewers will be back. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll go into two more areas for which the gentleman, a wonderful Ghanaian. You see, today you're wearing your traditional. I should have known. They come in my traditional. I'm all suited and booted, and I'm wondering what have I done. But anyway, we'll be back. See you when you come. Welcome back. Still on the hot seat on NSG News. I'm your host, which I never said when we started, AIM. I love to add liquid to it because I flow in whatever direction you take me. All right, so I'm here, AIM. And With me is the Executive Director and the Head of Global Research, Global Info Analytics. Mr. Mussa, thank you for your time and even giving your space to us to share with you. Beautiful stuff. I'm enjoying the conversation. For me, it's not an interview, it's a conversation to bring out the facts, political facts, from a patriotic lens as country and people. Beautiful stuff. One more thing is that it is also in the grapevine that you are being funded by foreign agents. So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
The last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
This is why we have come.
I left a job.
Yeah.
That was paying me six figure.
Yeah.
To a country that was not paying me anything. I can't betray this country.
No.
No, absolutely not. Look, Global Info Analytics is a private company.
Yeah.
And so because we didn't want our source of funding to be questioned.
Yeah.
If we had been set up as think tank, NGO, certainly you go a cap in hand to somebody to fund you.
Yes.
We chose not to do that.
Yeah.
We want to be transparent with how we get our money and how we fund our project.
Yeah.
We have international clients, companies who want the kind of data that we are churning out. If you had watched from 2023, Fitch Solutions, the global investment research company based in the UK,
yeah,
they brief investors, both bond holders, equity holders, on political risk of certain countries in Africa, including Ghana. And they tell you who is going to win the election, who is going to form the next government.
Yeah.
And for that matter, the policy of that government informs movement of funds globally.
Yeah.
So these guys, before we came into being, had to talk to people to see where the election could go. There was no data for them to use. Expert opinion, or who think.
So in effect, you're saying your work is helping Ghana?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'll come to that later on. So people have paid us for what we do. We are paid in dollars to have 3 hours meeting with investors globally to understand the political landscape. Who could win the next election? Who do you think will be a finance minister? They keep asking you today, if this person wins, that person. So
we are still looking for one financial minister, you know.
So people pay us. Some of the clients we have on our books includes Guinness Ghana Limited. We've done work for them.
Okay.
We've done a census for them. We've also worked for Johnson & Johnson Pharmaceuticals.
It's an international company.
They're companies. We worked for Deloitte, South Africa.
Okay.
We are a very good partner of Deloitte in Ghana for research. We have other clients, corporate clients, so they pay us. That's how we earn our living as a Global Info Analytics. So what we do in the space of public opinion is what we call our CSR, corporate social responsibility.
Okay.
Whatever money we have made from other clients, we put aside some of it to do the public opinion poll to help advance the cause of democracy and transparency in our governance today.
So you're using your own money?
Absolutely.
To
and also
educate the country?
Absolutely. But what that has done also is that it has put our name on the global platform.
Okay.
We have spent little money to help enhance democracy, good governance, and public opinion poll, but without having to spend anything on advertising. We're the leading brand when it comes to these works globally in Ghana today.
Yeah.
So we have reaped the profit of us doing good to the society.
Yeah.
You are here interviewing me today, not because we're doing market research,
no,
but because of public opinion. And
exactly.
We are shaping public opinion. We are bringing to fore the views of the people for the government to listen and respond.
You think they will listen?
They are listening.
Are you sure?
Those who didn't listen, they pay the price.
So you believe the current government is listening?
They are listening. They are listening.
Well,
and
what,
look,
what was your source of information?
You're
a numbers man. So tell me why you think this government is listening.
No, when they appear on TV programs in the morning, they concede.
They say talk is cheap, you know.
No, but you can see the actions.
Okay.
Look, when people are not happy,
Yeah.
politicians will react because they know that the next move they will be kicked out.
At least the previous elections suggest that
Look,
Ghanaians are ready to kick out.
We did a survey before in 2022 on the e-levy.
Yeah.
A big government policy that was introduced.
Yes.
Just before they went to IMF. We told them how the public opposed it. They didn't listen.
Okay. Of course they didn't.
They implemented it. And that began their cascading effect into opposition. Next time they will listen.
Are you sure?
Yes.
But that group of people are the ones accusing you.
Oh yes. But now
so are you sure they are listening? You said they've learned a lesson.
Look.
But
let me
if
tell
they
you,
do
in public.
I'm not trying to antagonize you. If you saying that based on the information you have, those that have been kicked out are listening, then they should be paying attention to your numbers.
But one thing.
Not suggesting that you are working against them, because that's the next thing I was going to ask you. They said that you are working against them.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, MPP, let me be precise, MPP.
The top hierarchy of the MPP is not against what we are doing.
Okay.
I can tell you for a fact.
Convince me
and
and the audience.
Remember there was Michael Quick committee to investigate what happened to MPP, why they lost.
Yes.
They sent an invitation to me to speak to the committee as an expert witness. That is the highest level of the party.
Okay.
And I spoke to them with data. They had then lost the election, they're in opposition, but I spoke to them. I could not speak to them behind the scenes. Sometimes they want to understand why the numbers are looking the way they are looking. And I tell them, look, we are an open organization. We present our report to anybody. And indeed, I've even said that if you want to understand the numbers, call us. We'll come to you and
break it
down for you to understand. We'll come at a fee. We do that. We've done that for international communities before the elections. Done that to Barclays Capital globally. And done that to other entities globally to understand what is going on. We do the same thing. We are a private company.
Yeah.
So, but there are other mouths, social media land guards who try to, put
I like it. What do you call them?
Social media land guards.
That's a new one.
We understand the game. It's on social media. They will see all sort of things. But
the new word is social media land guards. We've gone from the land guards to social media land guards.
So, but the big thing is that, look, despite the public insult, behind the scene, the work we are doing is what they look out for.
Yeah.
I remember recently one of the campaign was going to seek funding from a group of investors to fund his campaign. You know what he was told? They are waiting for the global info polls to come out first to know what to do. That is how important our polls have become.
Yeah.
Not even that, look, I don't think, you see, because we are independent, when you carry our polls to any fundraising, they tend to believe you. So let me just use maybe NDC, for example. Maybe NDC, I strongly believe that they use our polls to raise funds during the last election, because we were seen as middle polling agency that was saying this is what is going to happen. So when you go there with a poll not done by your cronies, they tend to believe that, okay, I think this came from Global Info. But if the poll comes from your own researchers, you take it a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
So we have become like a gold standard for independent polling in this country that I believe may help the opposition or may help the government, depending on what you're looking for in the data. There's always something for everyone. If you look at the recent poll we released, the government performance was abysmal, even though it's still high, but they saw a very big dip in the performance of the government.
Yeah.
So if you're in a position, that's what you hold to hit the government and say, look, you are becoming unpopular. We did the question about corruption fight was declining. So you could see the pressure points. And if you are a government, what do? You respond to those pressure points to make sure that people don't feel the way they are feeling. So we have become the ears for anybody in government. We don't care who you are. When MPP was in power, we were the ears, but they didn't listen to us. If they had listened to us very well last time, I tell you, things would have been a bit different. So we are serving democracy, not a party.
We hope they are listening now.
They will listen. They will. They have no choice. Because you see, behind the public criticism, in their bedroom, in their offices, they take our work very seriously.
Yeah. General governance in Ghana, accountability, probity, and all the slogans that we have as a nation, freedom and justice. I mean, in the previous government, the notion was that freedom of speech was going down the drain and dissenting voices were being cracked down upon. So general governance from the previous to now, what is your view on that as a country person? Okay. I know you're a numbers man.
Let me start with the numbers.
Okay, good, no problem. Use the numbers as a foundation, but luckily, I want you to finish as a country man.
We have the Mo Ibrahim Index.
Okay.
And Mo Ibrahim Index, look at the governance of certain countries, compare them, and see whether there are progress or there are, kind of challenges.
Yeah.
And the numbers we have seen for Ghana was deteriorating under Mo Ibrahim's index.
Okay.
That shows that something was not going right in the former previous government.
Yeah.
Compare that to now, they have seen some improvement in the indexes. So from data, you can use Mo Ibrahim as an index to defend what I'm going to say. But I think what I would say in terms of differences is that I think Nanado or the government, former government, people were not bold to speak on issues.
Because we're made to be afraid.
Yes. There are so many CSOs that were coward. There are so many groups that were vocal in the past but were coward. And it's because probably there's a feeling that Nanado, you can't antagonize him. So people were scared to what extent he will come after them. So you better not speak and have your peace.
That's not a good leadership.
There were people who had to flee this country because they made certain statements, certain comments. Manasa Azuri was one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So that problem...
I was going to ask you a question about two of his books.
So those kind of things are there. And now people feel that the shackles have been removed.
Yeah.
And that is why even the data, about 70 or 67% of Ghanaians are saying the country is headed in the right direction.
Okay.
In October last year, when Nanado was there, that number was 26%.
Really?
Yes. So the data speaks to the fact that people feel differently now than before. So my views are kind of backed by data that we have collected over the years. Now that we have seen the change of government, people feel relieved. I mean, the country, if you test the pulse of the people feel relaxed. People can speak.
But there's been a lot of demonstrations lately.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah, it's good.
Freedom
of association.
Civil disobedience.
Absolutely. And
I'm not saying it's not part of democracy. It's one of the instruments of democracy to vent our anger and disagreement rather than going for the guns.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, but it's an indicator as well to say governance is lacking some sort of control in certain areas. So what do you think is causing this? Because before we came on air, there was we were watching the news and there was this about people not being paid.
Look, I'm a finance person.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
Economics and the numbers. I remember in 2016 we did a report to the World Bank that assessed Ghana's infrastructure financing gap.
Yeah.
What we need to do every year to get us to get a GDP of 6% per annum.
Yeah.
The work we did showed that we have no capacity to do such things.
Okay. It's a fact.
Without borrowing, and we have borrowed to the limit. So the resource envelope of the country is well tight. So if you have workforce that are recruited into the system, but you don't have resource envelope to pay them, there's a problem.
So why are they recruiting them then?
Some of it is political, and also pressure for unemployment. People are sitting home unemployed. So you are better off for them, okay, let's give them something. Even if the work, the pay is delayed, eventually it will be paid. And remember, tax revenues may go up and down, and there may not be enough capacity within the public service to fund everything. So sometimes the finance minister plays delay tactics just to buy some time.
Yeah.
So what we are seeing sometimes is that. And also, I don't know when they were recruited. If they were recruited long before this government came in, then they should be aware that these guys existed.
Yeah.
Before they came in, they should have taken their numbers into account and see where else they can make savings and pay them. Once they are working, they must be paid. Doesn't matter who employed them.
Of course.
I mean, they are working for the government. Look, we need teachers, we need nurses. It's not like we have over capacity. We don't have that capacity. We need to absorb them into the system and let them provide service. Whatever we do to fund their salaries, we should do that. There are a lot of savings and waste that we can cut from everything we do today to fund those things. We should focus on on efficiency savings and release those savings to pay for these people's salaries.
Beautiful. But whilst on payment, savings, and monies, stuff like that, I want to let's go straight into pricing and wages. The hot seat, we have the disposition that is grossly out of alignment. And let me be bold here to say that's the problem we have as an economy. You go to other parts of the world, the shop attendant can shop from that shop. But you come to Ghana, I don't want to advertise the shop for free. You go to that shop, the shop attendant cannot buy even a chocolate. The national minimum wage is like this, and the things are priced like this. As numbers man, what do we need to do? I spoke to a banking friend of mine. I said, look, it can be done, but what will happen is some of the startups will struggle because they cannot pay.
Yeah.
So what else can be done? Because it's obvious the economy is sustained by only a few.
Okay.
A lot of people cannot spend.
Look, when I was in Denmark,
Yeah.
as a student, I was a Kwalaba man. I don't know what Kwalaba man.
Bottle collector.
Bottle collector.
Yeah.
The students, they used to drink alcohol in the class, lecture halls.
Yeah.
So I go around picking the bottles and go and sell them to the supermarket, for recycling.
Yeah.
And anytime I bring a bottle, the amount they give me can buy me a shopping for 3-4 days.
Exactly.
This bottle recycling. So it is the cost of food that is so expensive. We're not able to rein inflation to a level that will make things affordable for people. If you have runaway inflation, like we had a few years back, and also import-driven economy, everything we do here is imported, and that the city has to be at a certain level to make them affordable. If the city loses grounds, we are finished. So we import so much of everything that the exchange rate variabilities and then even the inflation in those countries affect us as well. So we are importing so much inflation into the country. Add on top of that the exchange rate variability, and then we sell to the people. We need to work hard on food inflation. Ghana, our staple food is what? Yam, rice, corn. From this 1, 2, 3, we mix all sort of things.
Yes.
And we have to invest in rice farming. The import of rice is quite huge. If we're able to expand our local rice production to feed ourselves, I think the pressure on people's wages will go down. If we're able to mechanize agriculture effectively, agro-processed product that we have to produce in the farms,
Yeah.
to increase the lifespan, I think cost of living will come down. If you watch in the last, I would say 6 months, there has been significant improvement in the cost of living of people. It has fallen dramatically.
Yeah.
2 things happen. One, you have the city strengthening against the dollar.
Some say it's just for a moment. It's not going to.
I don't, whether it's for a moment, people have enjoyed that breathing space.
You have a point.
What is government there for? To relieve the pain of the people.
Yes.
If you build a reserve and people are hungry, what have you done?
Nothing.
Nothing. You know, the models that we have been preaching to by these international systems, we have to have a rethink sometimes.
You want us to go there? I'm trying to. You have the whole day. I'm trying to go into that area because there are some of the influences of what I was talking about.
Absolutely. Look,
so if you want to go there, go there. Speak to us.
The Bank of England intervenes in the market to weaken the pound or strengthen the pound, depending on what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
The central banks of Japan, they do the same thing, right? Does the IMF go there and shout at them?
No.
It's because we have been going to IMF with the cap in hand. So they have a say in what we do. Let's avoid going to IMF, do things differently, rightly, and we can spend to make our life better. Look.
Are you sure we can avoid going to them?
Let me tell you what. IMF has been with us from 2015 or 2014 all the way till now. Ghanaians have never been happier compared to the last 6 months.
But their charter says it's supposed to make the people happy.
Exactly, that's what. So you see, so you have spent about $4 billion to make people feel that. What is the point of keeping that $4 billion in your reserve and people shouting and crying on the street? It makes no sense. The money belongs to us. Spend the money on us, but make sure that we don't mismanage ourselves and go back to IMF with a cap in hand.
Yeah. Okay, but my subject on the if that you said is going to fix the issue that we should be able. I can't be in a shop where they're selling these clothes. I'm serving people and I can't buy it.
No, I think you see.
I can't be in this shop and I'm helping people with their trolleys and I can't buy chocolate.
You see, it won't happen
because
overnight.
what I'm being paid is actually the price of the chocolate.
It won't happen overnight.
You're not the policy maker.
I know.
I'm only speaking to you because you're a numbers man with the hope you say something that you said they are listening now. Our leaders are listening. So I'm hopeful that they'll listen to what you're going to say.
What we should be doing is really lower the cost of living.
Okay.
For people. To a point where the apple in that supermarket, that employee can now afford to buy it.
But they're imported, so how do we balance it? Is it subsidy? What are we going to do?
No, you see, import substitution.
Good.
We should be deliberate about what we import and what we grow here.
Yeah.
Now, and we should also be able to let our people understand that we grow by eating what we have.
Exactly.
So we should reorient ourselves in our diet, in our everything, to meet what we grow and to consciously avoid eating what is imported. If I went to Nigeria for the World Bank project in 2015, and at the hotel they gave me rice. I was looking for some Polish rice. It was local rice.
Yeah.
And I asked, they
call it fat rice.
Here, that's what we eat. And I said, okay, it makes sense. So even me that come have to eat the local rice.
Yeah.
So there must be an effort, conscious effort. Even that rice is better, healthier than the one we are being importing and eating. So if we don't understand some of these things and we don't push this agenda deliberately locally, I think we will keep eating foreign food, and that foreign inflation will keep importing them.
Right. Hold your thought on that. We'll come on the 4th John and the president Ghana never had, Manasseh Zure's book. I was just going to ask a generic question on that. One more thing, I'll be back. Viewers, I hope you've been enjoying the conversation with the executive director. Actually, he's the CEO, but he doesn't want to be using the name CEO, so we settle for the executive director. He prefers the head of research because it has to do with numbers. He loves numbers. Mussa, thank you very much. We'll be back. When we come back, we're going to more of this governance, politics, corruption, and we should be wrapping up. But that is to say we'll be back. Keep your doors open. Viewers will be back just in a minute.
No beginning. Get used to it. I have stepped into my new beginning. Yesterday is gone. Yesterday of darkness is gone. A whole new beginning. Get used to it. I've stepped into my new level. See me watching me fly on eagle's wing. A whole new beginning. A new beginning.
You're welcome back. The Hot Seat. I'm your host, Aim. Add liquid to it. I will flow for you. We are with the Executive Director, Global Analytics, Info Analytics. Let me be precise. You can see right here. And we've been talking about country, his work that is being criticized, some governance matters. And so we are back. You were talking about the IMF and the concept of if we don't take balls begging, they should not be interfering in what we do. Because understandably, you talked about rice. Let's go to Aveima. There was meant to be a Aveima project. I'm not quite sure which of the government it was. I was young then, but what I heard was that they went into some deal with IMF, which means that project should have to come to a stop, because understandably the money should not be used to create problem in America, which means we have to import rice. So what business is it that we have with IMF after all?
You know, the IMF is an institution of the World Bank created to support countries who are in financial distress.
Are they really supporting that?
Look, without them, a lot of countries would have collapsed as well. So there are pluses and minuses.
Before they came, the countries have been existing.
No, but the economic models have changed.
Okay, from that perspective.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
right.
there are new ways of running economic models for various countries. And once you are running on certain models, then what they prescribe tend to work. We never hear IMF in the Gulf countries, do you?
No.
You're not needed there. Are they managing their economy better? They have the resources, so they can do anything to get things in order. But here, we overspend, overborrow, overcommit, oversteal, and then we are in trouble.
I have this argument that I always said, that I don't think the borrowing from IMF, the World Bank, is the problem.
No.
I think our leaders are the problem. The reason I'm saying that is that in reading about things, I've realized that China has engaged with IMF programs and have taken grants, loans, all kinds of things. But look at China now. In effect, they use the money for what they want to use it for. Where is the money we take from IMF? So I'm careful to blame them.
No, okay.
Is it leadership which we have, or the IMF that is forcing them to act in a way that...
No, you know that if you have 100 cities, you should not be spending 150 Ghana cities.
Okay.
But we do that.
Okay.
Then you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Currency free fall. So when IMF comes like a police officer.
Right.
Overlooking your shoulder. Don't do this because it will land into trouble. Don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
There are things we should have been doing anyway without even the IMF.
That's what we want.
That's what we should be doing. And you look at the history of our election spending. We spend a lot of money before elections. After elections, we are in square one.
Yeah.
So if IMF is there, IMF then becomes like
why that? Is that spending for the country, or
they are spending to win vote?
So it's a partisan drive.
Absolutely, partisan drive. And in some part of the world now, no. For example, in the UK, before elections, I think 6 months before elections, you are not allowed to commit any big policy, any big program. You can't do that. You can't hang a commitment to an incoming government, which may not be even you. So even within the governance system we have doesn't moderate how spending of the state is done before elections. So there's a kind of problem there we need to fix, because people tend to recruit people before elections are held just to show that we're going to give you jobs. There's no money to pay them in the future, and they don't care.
Yeah.
And then they leave that overhang to another government. If it's the same government that comes to power, then you see that there will be troubles immediately after they won election. So we tend to do things in a way that doesn't help us in the long term. But for IMF, what I've said is that, look, a lot of things they say to us, we should be doing it on their own. But in the case of this, the CD and the support the government provided to strengthen the CD, they have an issue with that. And I'm saying that so long as we're not using our reserves or depleting our reserves, we should do what makes this country happy. If it means helping the city to stabilize and then having cost of things stabilizing, what is governance for? Why should we always be tight on our neck when we have reserves sitting down there? It doesn't make sense.
Not going seems possible because previously the finance minister said we are proud people. We're not going to IMF.
We are still proud people.
But he took us there.
We are still proud people, but we are broke.
We are proud people, but we are broke.
We are broke.
So he took us to IMF.
Yes.
But then where's the money?
See, IMF
That's
money,
the question I keep. Where is the money?
The IMF money, you have to bear in mind, they don't give you money to go and spend on roads and other things. No. Mostly they provide you money to help your reserves so we can support your import. And if you have debt to pay, use that money to pay your debt that will be crystallizing, those kind of things. So they're not giving you money to go and build roads. No. So the money for the roads should be coming from other concessionary loans from other partners or your own resources. IMF loans are not meant to build schools or roads. No, not at all. It is a stopgap financing to tackle critical aspects of the economy that you will not be able to do. Or to give confidence to the borrower that you have money, you can pay them when the money is due.
Yeah.
So they give the support, what they call maybe reserves, to help you build up your reserves.
Yeah.
So the money they give to you, you don't go use it to buy chinchinga. No, it's not for those kind of purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. I want to talk about corruption.
Yes.
But there's these two books, yeah? The Fourth John and The President Ghana Never Had by Manasseh Azure. Those two books, written about two different governments and a little bit of crossover here and there, but there is fundamentally 2-3 things that are common to both of them. Corruption, mismanagement, malfeasance, endless scandals. From your position of numbers, privilege, what is the problem? And these are high-level, grand corruption
the
matters.
The entire country is built on corruption. Our culture hails corruption. Look, we need to be very frank with ourselves and look at ourselves in the eyes. So what can we do? There are people who claim they've made it self-made, but in natural sense, they stole from us. They were meddling in government procurement and made billions out of that, and they said they're self-made. Corruption is very endemic in our society, including the governance and our politics. You have a situation where everybody in civil servants wants to make money, want to build a house, want to buy a car. And if you don't have a car, you don't have a house, you have no stature in society, you are not seen as somebody who can come to the high table. So people are forced to do things. People are not content with what they have. I also do believe that the very basics of life that prevent corruption is missing.
Yeah.
Because, look, people have to have a place to put their head. The salaries cannot afford to build them the houses. They must be corrupt to build the houses. We don't have a mortgage market where people can use their salaries to buy houses and own houses without building one themselves. So the entire setup of the system is completely not helping the fight against corruption.
Yeah.
If you look at our culture, people, our proverbs, full of corruption. We prioritize cronyism over competence.
Yeah.
He's from my place, he's my brother, he's this. Rather than, is he competent to do the job? And that's where corruption starts. It's also part of corruption.
Yeah.
So we need to start making the effort to really make sure that people get a job based on merit. It wasn't this bad in the past. I think things have gotten bad in the last maybe 20 years. But my memory set me right. Things have gotten bad I mean, Rollins time, yes, there was issue, but it wasn't this endemic. Now we are in different ball game altogether when it comes to corruption. But we can never throw our hands in the air and say we can't fight it. We must fight it, and we must fight it in a way that over time we can say that we've made progress in the fight against corruption. It's not going to happen overnight. It will require systems. It will require mindset change. It will require a new generation of voters, people who believe that, look, this country cannot go on the way we've done so in the past, and they'll begin to have a different mindset. That will take time, but I think we will get there.
We hope so. That's the desire, and that's what we want, because as said earlier, Ghana is beyond blessed
Absolutely.
to not function properly. By human effect, I call it human effect, is the reason we are where we are. Even though some believe that we are developed, we are getting there, but from here you will not walk far before you start fighting with the road. It's everywhere. You have to fight with the road. You have to fight with the road. You see, let me see if I have something more for you. I am not done, but I don't want to take the whole of your day. Corruption, you just sounded like Professor Kwesi, and he said corruption is like oil that is soaked into a foam, that when you squeeze it, it will ooze out of.
The good thing is that, according to the polls, recent polls,
Yeah.
the perception of corruption in state institutions is coming down.
That would be hallelujah.
Yes, and across board. And even though even the police are seen as the most corrupt, their score is coming down.
Okay.
So if we can carry this path and this mentality and this kind of thinking going forward, it will begin to permeate in certain things. Once we have concrete steps we take when corruption rears its ugly head and we deal with it, I think we will see some progress. At the moment, the voters are giving the government the benefit of the doubt, and we are seeing a gradual reduction in perception of corruption. I believe if we take corruption perception index right now, it will be declining.
The enforcement seems to be a problem. We
get
have
that.
almost every law in this country.
You see, the legal system and the whole sentencing regime has to be looked at again critically. And I think that has to be one of the priorities for this government or for this Attorney General. I remember the sentencing reforms that were being proposed. The bill never went anywhere. But when they flaunted the plea bargain bill, it quickly went to Parliament and got passed. So people are really watching this thing carefully. It tells you that they want to protect themselves.
So everything for them will go quick.
Go quickly.
For the people, no.
No. So we have.
But this legal judicial system we have seems to be this taxmaster written legal system that was fashioned for a slave person.
It needs to be removed.
That is what we are still functioning, because you go outside of this country, a boy goes to the shop, pick a chocolate, steal something, they just slap on the hand or maybe do community work. And actually we have a lot of work. Some of the people being in prison, just give them 2 weeks.
They don't need to be there.
2 weeks, give them high vis, let them sweep hard.
Look, even if you give them 6 months,
Yeah.
they'll be glad to do that than going to jail.
So why are we not doing it?
Somebody hasn't sent the bill to Parliament yet.
I mean, but because those guys go there, they come out
They
West.
hardened criminals.
We are better people. I believe strongly, Ghanaians, we are wonderful people.
Yes.
We are excellent people. We are tough. We are strong if we want to. Even though people argue with me that what do you mean? But I look at
The
myself and
sentencing regime is too rigid.
I said, listen, I don't agree with most of the write-off statements with this country. I don't agree. It's just some very interesting characters in high places doing the wrong things that shouldn't be. But before we go, it would not be nice for us to go without you giving your view and comments on the most powerful United Nations debate ever delivered by a Ghanaian president.
Look, for
President John Dramani Mahama. Someone asked who wrote the speech for him.
I have no idea, but he's a man of his own. He can put some thoughts together and put them in the report or in the speech he delivered at the UN. For me, what stood out was his unequivocal statement about the Gaza situation.
But that's the contentious one. That's what some Ghanaians say. They don't agree with him talking about it.
Look. See, I think the Gaza war is misunderstood. The entire Palestine war is misunderstood. Some people think it's a religious war. It is absolutely not. It's about land. It's about land.
Yeah.
The land that people believe they own it, and others believe biblically is being promised to them. If we were to use the Bible to rule today, you can imagine what chaos we would have.
Yeah.
So, the Israel today has gone into Gaza for a reason that we all know.
Yeah.
They've been there before,
Yeah.
but it triggered this invasion by the October, I think, 7th incident.
Yeah.
There are rules of war.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rules of war. There's the Rome Convention, the Geneva Convention. There are rules governing some of all these things, your behavior. What Israel has done in Gaza, according to the UN, says it is a genocide, full stop. You can't polish it in any way to make it look different. People are starving. So for him to be bold and say that to the Israelis and the whole world, I think it is
I
remarkable.
don't think all Ghanaians agree with it.
No, because you see, as I'm saying, that people think that Israeli and Palestinian war is a religious war between Muslims and Christians. They don't even know that, look, 70% of Christ's life, right? 70% of Christ, his life, was lived in Palestine. Jericho,
Yeah.
Bethlehem,
Yeah.
all those places are not in Israel, they're in Palestine. So sometime or somehow they believe it's a religious war. It is not. In fact, some of the people who are leading Palestine today and even before were Christians. Hanan Ashrawi is a Christian. But because they hear Hanan Ashrawi, they think he must be a Muslim. This is not an Islam and Christianity war, no. And there are people in Israel who are opposed to what is going on. It's not war about religion, it's about war about land.
So if we put that contentious matter aside, and he talks about some other important information, how the financial system is skewed against us. He talked about the influence of women, especially Ghana having the first vice president. And he went on to talk about the fact that Africa is the future. I repeat. Let me say it louder, he said. I think if I will quote him, Africa is the future. What you have to say?
He's right.
You think we are doing enough for Africa to be the future?
The future for Africa is because Africa is the continent with the youngest population.
Agreed, but it's not enough to be young.
No, we are.
We will grow.
But we are growing. If you look
What
at,
are we growing with?
If you look at what is happening in Africa now among the youth,
Yeah.
look at Kenya, look at Rwanda. The Gen Zs are changing things. What we need is a support from the system to be able to make the growth a bigger one to touch everybody. We shouldn't have a growth that benefits just a few. We must open an opportunity for young people to be able to realize their ambitions and their dreams.
Yeah.
In Ghana here, look, over 70% or more of the people are below 44 years of age. The country is young. So this has implication on what we should be doing as a country. What are we putting in place to ensure that we address the unemployment situation that we are facing currently?
Yeah.
The Gen Z, the universities are churning out thousands of people every year. How many of them are getting into jobs? We need to look at that and see how best we can connect industry to academia so that they can produce people that will be fitting or fit for purpose when they come out of job. And also government must create an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive. And the private sector must learn to structure itself very well, to grow beyond sole proprietorship. Most of them, even though they are big companies, big groups, they run like a sole proprietorship, like Indian corner shops in London.
Thank you very much. On that note, we will wrap up. But before we wrap up, I will say that, so in effect, President Mahama's speech at the General Assembly, United Nations, has become the standard, the blueprint for our future speech at the General Assembly.
Be bold.
Boldness.
Boldness.
Okay. Now, before we go, Global Info Analytics. Are you going to stop your work because of criticism?
No, not at all. In fact,
Are you going to hit harder?
The more they criticize us, the more we try to get things better.
Okay.
When we started, there were people who were criticizing us. Some were academia, and we listened to some of them that they were giving us good reasons.
Yeah.
And we took some of them, their views on board, and we improved. And we can only keep improving. We're not going to stop.
Yeah.
It's a company, and the company has perpetual cessation. Even when I die, the company will continue.
That's how it should be. Out in some parts of the world,
Yes.
there is always legacy institutions that have been there for 50, 100 years, and they are solid.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, this is why we come. So you say these things for us to begin to change the way we look at our institutions. No, it's about time that we go beyond
absolutely.
that. Glory to God.
Alhamdulillah.
That's how you say it in Hausa. Oh, no, in Muslim, no Hausa.
This is Arabic.
Arabic. Okay. Thank you very much. And on our house seat, when we say thank you, we say may it happen again. Keep your doors open. There's a lot more we can talk about, but it's just, we want to spare our viewers. Let them consume this one, assimilate it, leave their comments, think about it, like the channel. This is NSG News, the only neutral media house in Ghana. Authoritatively, I say so. This is the hot seat. Your own host, AIM. And I'm with the executive director and head of global research, who has been making the headlines in Ghana politically and analytically. Check his website out. And if you have business, meet up with him. He's a wonderful person. We had a good chat off the cameras. But without much ado, thank you all for watching us. And do your best to like and subscribe to the channel. And share with your friends, Ghanaians, both at home and abroad. It's been a pleasure being with you, Mr. Dankwah.
My pleasure.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
And it's bye.